with her, married her, and became a successful consultant with a Harley Street practice, with her running a flat-fronted Regency house and entertaining his rich patients in a little something from Belleville, Sassoon. Nonsense, she told herself firmly several times a day, while a tiny corner of her mind persisted in denying that. She put on the plain court shoes she'd saved to buy, found her velvet jacket, and, with a couple of minutes to spare, made her way round to the car park at the back of the hospital where the staff kept their cars. Basil's car was there, an elderly Triumph, its vivid red needing a good clean. But Basil wasn't. He was at the other end of the row of cars, leaning on the bonnet of a sleek Rover, talking to staff nurse Collins, whose father was well-heeled enough to keep his daughter in a style quite inaccessible to a nurse living on nothing but her pay. Phoebe stayed where she was, not sure whether to join them or look as though she hadn't seen them. She decided on the latter, and presently was relieved to hear Basil's voice remarking that there she was, and why hadn't she given a shout? She mumbled something or other, bereft of words as usual when she was with him, although her smile made up for that, and when he opened the car door she got in. She had hoped he would say something nice about her outfit, but he hardly glanced at it, merely said that they'd have to step on it if they weren't to miss the best of the food. The cousin lived miles away, near Croydon. What with Basil taking a wrong turning and all the evening traffic, the party was in full swing by the time he'd found a place to park the car, and they'd walked back to the rather staid-looking house in a quiet street. Although neither the house nor the street were quiet, the din met them as they opened the old-fashioned iron gate and pushed open the half-open door. The moment they were inside, Phoebe saw that she was dressed quite wrongly. There were dozens of girls there, wearing slinky black dresses with deep V necklines and no backs worth mentioning, and those who weren't wearing black were in tight pantsuits, glittering with gold and sequins. The girl who came to meet them was wearing black satin, skin-tight and short. She wore one very large dangling earring, and there were pink streaks in her dark hair. She flung her arms round Basil, kissed him with great warmth, and then looked at Phoebe. "Girlfriend?" she inquired. "Basil, I can't believe it." The amused look she cast at Phoebe sent the colour flying into her cheeks, and it stayed there because Basil looked at her too with a faint, derisive smile. "Hardly that," he said, but he took Phoebe's arm and squeezed it, and the smile changed so quickly that she thought that she might have imagined it. The girl grinned. "I'm Deirdre." And when Phoebe said politely, "How do you do? I'm Phoebe," she said rather impatiently, "Well, come on in and meet everyone." Somebody went past with a tray of drinks, and she caught him by the arm. "Have a drink for a start." It tasted like sugared petrol, but Phoebe sipped it obediently, keeping close to Basil because she didn't know a soul there. True, he threw names at her carelessly from time to time, but faces came and went so rapidly that she never caught up with them. And presently she found herself against a wall, and Basil at the other end of the room, surrounded by a crowd of people, all laughing their heads off. She'd hidden her glass behind a great vase filled with lilac, and was trying to look as though she was enjoying herself. Not that that mattered, because no one noticed her. It seemed like hours later when Basil reappeared, a glass in his hand. "Hello there," he began carelessly. "Having a good time, I say. This is some party. Haven't enjoyed myself so much in years." He looked at her and frowned. "You look a bit of a wet blanket, darling. It's not quite your scene, perhaps." She was anxious to please him. "Oh, it's lovely," she assured him. I came here just for a minute or two to get my breath." He dropped a casual kiss on her cheek. "Oh, good. There's masses